John. Well, the right to carry a firearm openly is becoming an issue across the country. Now, an Escondido man is organizing rallies for that cause. KUSI's Ed Linderman is here with that story. Ed?
Alan, the people involved would prefer we not use the word rally, but whatever you want to call their public get-togethers, there are going to be a lot more of them. If anyone was thinking that the small gathering of gun rights advocates at an Escondido strip mall would create a stir, they were wrong. There were only a handful of people on hand and nary a protester in sight. It was so low-key that Escondido police didn't show up until most of the media interviews had taken place.
Can you come over here, sir? I just don't want it. Just one at a time.
Supervising Sergeant David Kramer just making sure the openly displayed revolvers and semi-automatics weren't loaded. All in all, just the way organizer Gerald Tink Reister wanted it to go. I'm not a crackpot, he told me, but I am upset.
The Second Amendment clearly states the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be abridged. I've been abridged so many times, I'm sick of it.
Reister, a retired Navy petty officer, also worked for the county. He says after he got arrested for carrying a loaded, concealed weapon on his own property, he decided to do something. Most states, including California, allow you to carry an unloaded firearm and ammunition on your hip without a license. But it bugs Reister and his fellow members of Escondido Open Carry that they can't get permits to carry a concealed weapon for self-defense purposes.
Did you know that Dianne Feinstein has a concealed carry permit? Okay, and they won't give me one. Why is her life worth more than mine?
The open carry movement got a lot of attention recently when about a dozen people, including this man, carried unloaded weapons outside the Phoenix Convention Center where President Obama was giving a speech. A co-founder of the organization goes even further. The issue, she told me, is even larger than the right to carry a gun.
Literally for the last several years, not just this year, but the last several years, and it's just getting worse. It's not just the Second Amendment, it's all of them.
But passerby Richard Spasoff shook his head at the sight of so many weapons.
They're not even trained, especially if somebody gets angry, just wants to fire off. They could hurt themselves, somebody else, and there you go.
Won't happen, says Reister. We won't be provoked. We just want our rights. We mentioned nary a protester in sight. Immigration rights activists have questioned Reister's motives. Reister says his events are not about illegal immigration. As for the events, there will be more of them to coincide with other previously scheduled public events like Escondido's Cruisin' Grand Vintage Car Nights. Ed Linderman, KUSI News.
Ed, we didn't see a lot of people in that video, so would you say this movement is still growing?
Well, it is here, and Reister will tell you there are a lot more people involved here than you saw today, and you will begin to see them, more of them, at these other public events.
All right, Ed, thank you for that report.
A local Starbucks got unusual customers today. Men and women carrying guns on one hip and bullets on the other. And they weren't police officers.
10 News reporter Juliet Vara is live there with the point that the group was trying to make. Juliet?
What this group did at this Starbucks right here behind me is perfectly legal, but what they want to do is carry concealed loaded weapons, and they say that's just too hard to do right now in San Diego County. Alongside their pocket, more than just a wallet.
It's a 1911 Colt.
Nearby,
Bullets are right here.
it was not the average sight to see at this Escondido Starbucks.
Makes me want to run or duck or very much.
While police checked to make sure the guns weren't loaded, other onlookers,
No, it bothers me none because I'm from Tennessee.
this group of pistol carriers was here to prove a point.
We want to be able to have a permit to carry a loaded gun. My life is just as important as any of the people that are in the legislature.
But in San Diego County, it's tough to do, which is why they're protesting.
The criminals don't hide their, they don't walk around with guns on their hip. They hide them, right? We're law-abiding citizens.
But without a verifiable reason, they're right. You won't get a permit here in San Diego County. Here are the guidelines. You must prove you're a resident, have a good cause, and good moral character. But a cause of self-defense isn't a good enough reason.
My life is my good cause.
The Sheriff's Department says you have to prove you're a target or in danger. Gun control advocates say that's the way it should be.
People can get mad real fast. They don't have control. They're not trained. That's why.
And doctors, contractors, liquor store owners, and politicians, for example, are the kind of people that will likely get granted a permit. And that group that you just saw there plans to continue to protest again on Friday and then pretty much through the month of September at different locations here in Escondido. Reporting live tonight in Escondido, I'm Juliette Vara, 10 News.
Here's something you don't see every day outside of your neighborhood coffee shop. People sipping Java and packing heat. A few citizens in Escondido decided to openly display and legally carry their unloaded weapons. They did it in protest of what they call abridgment of their Second Amendment rights. They say it's not about the guns, it's about the Constitution. All say they faced headaches over legally carrying their weapons. For more on these stories and much, much more, log on to nctimes.com.